My friends, doesn't it say something when every single person I know who is connected to Torah and Hashem in any real way, I mean real way, I'm not just talking about externally, somebody who davens with a minyan 3 times a day and puts on tefillin and whatever, right? I'm talking about people who are actually connected to Hashem, where you could see that they are. You can talk to them. You see their actions. You hear their words. You understand that they have integrity. So these people are every single one of them is appalled at this deal, just as I am. Absolutely appalled, guys. And a lot of people have said, well, listen, this is like some kind of 4 or 5D chess move by Bibi. He knows that they're going to reject it, that Hamas is going to reject it. And then they can come and say, hey, look at everything we offered, and now we offer nothing, right? It's that kind of thing, right? I forget the name for this kind of strategy, but there is a name for this, and it's a bet. But that doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter if it's a bet, and it doesn't even matter if it's a bet Bibi may win. It sends a signal. It sends a signal, folks, of weakness. Meaning, it sends a signal that you want to start doing all kinds of shtick because you don't believe that you can accomplish a goal outright. You don't believe that you can just decimate the enemy with your superior firepower and decimate yes, get back the hostages, just like you managed to somehow blow up a bunch of pagers and beepers. Okay, folks, this is something that I don't. It's so confounding to me. We brag about, we have this unit in the Israeli army called 8200. We brag about the capabilities of, Mossad and 8200 and Shabak and all this stuff. And then we're saying, well, we can't just, we can't rescue these hostages. We can't. There's nothing we can do. We're fighting a war where there's hostages and where there's tunnels. Folks, they know where they are. They know how to get them out. They know how to destroy the tunnels. Folks, I mean, you're being, for the past 2 years, almost 2 years, somebody has been selling you a bridge in Brooklyn, starting with October 7th. And the fact that for sure a certain faction of the government allowed this to happen. I'm not even going to go into that again. And by the way, not because lefties, it was lefties, not because they wanted to take over Gaza, but because they wanted to crash Bibi's government. Because what was happening right before that? Judicial reform. And, the frumis, the as they call them in Israel, the dosim, people like myself. Dos, dos means dati. Right? Religious people were taking over. The dosim, it's a derogatory term. We're taking over. We can't let the dosim take over. Right? So my friends, they've been selling us this bridge in Brooklyn for almost 2 years. Right? And a lot of people have been buying it, and even today, people are like, "Yeah, this is a deal. This is a great deal. Let's see what happens." Oh, Trump and Bibi made this deal. Amazing, amazing, folks. I literally feel like I'm either dealing with listening to people who are just straight up NPCs, like straight up. I don't know. In the words of my friend, he would say they sound vaccinated. You know what I mean? Or it's just no offense to anybody who took that crap, but. Or it's just total, I don't know, people have no standards, people have no integrity, people have no, I don't know, forget about self-respect. I'm talking about just sending a signal to people around the world, not just our enemies. Folks, when the hell did Tony Blair come into the picture? Pardon my language, who the fuck is Tony Blair? I mean, I know who he is, but you know what I'm saying? Who the fuck is Tony Blair in all of this, guys? Pardon my French again. Pardon my Macron language. Dear Lord, like an international coalition of folks. I mean, this is like, wow, wow. I really couldn't have. I really couldn't have thought of this myself. Unbelievable. So, I don't know, guys. I mean, it seems like this literally, has been a war on our minds. This has been prolonged on purpose to demoralize us. Someone is behind this. To be honest with you, I don't even know if Bibi's behind this, or maybe somebody threatened him. I don't know. I really don't know. Or maybe, folks, there's no explanation for this. I think Trump, he's just kind of, on his end, he's under the impression that Israel can defend themselves, and he basically said, okay, well, I want to be the guy to do this whole Abraham, or as he pronounced it, Abu Raham, Abdu Haram. I don't know what he said, Accords. I mean, it's not even funny. And he wants to be the guy. I did it, whatever. Folks, I mean, it's just, yesterday my friend Frank messaged me, this before all this stuff, before we found out about this, and he said to me, man, I think Mashiach needs to come because, he said, as much as I'm a fan of Trump, not so much of Bibi, these guys need to be, they need to be like, Mashiach needs to come, and he needs to politely set them aside. And he needs to rule over the world, really. Jewish people, Israel, and by extension the world. Folks, you see what's going on. I mean, this is not tenable. This is not sustainable. This is not normal. It's not normal, folks. These people attacked us mercilessly, right? And Bibi wore the QR code, pinned with a QR code to this website. It's almost like he's like rubbing it in our face, right? Take a look at this website. Take a look at what they did to us. Okay, and what do they get? So now they get a reward. The reward is a slightly more subdued version of them will be ruling Gaza in combination with some international whomever, right? And apparently Tony Blair, whom we haven't seen since, the time when he was George W. Bush's lapdog in 2003 during the Iraq War. Like, we haven't seen this dude in 22 years, right? Folks, I mean, like, incredible. No words. Absolutely no words. So, guys, really, this is really... My friends, I have friends that want to make Yeridah. They want to leave Israel. People who made Aliyah from Western countries, they want to leave Israel because of this. And you could say, well, they're making a mistake. Don't conflate the government with the land. Folks, they don't want to live in the country where the government doesn't advocate for them. They don't want to live in a country where the government on the country they live in, doesn't matter where it is, doesn't matter how holy it is, does not advocate on their behalf. This is what they feel. This is what they see and what they feel, that the government does not advocate on their behalf. I'm not even talking about internal bureaucracy. I'm not even going there. Folks, this is basic, like, you want to feel like you're safe, more or less, right? Or the government is working to change the situation some way, somehow. Clearly we see that that's not happening. Clearly we see the government is working to make it worse. Or at least some entities in the government. I don't know. Maybe Bibi's not even in control. I don't know. Guys, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. But, my friends, really, what this comes down to is, how awake are we to what the heck is going on around us? Are we just saying, oh yeah, this is how these things work, That's how negotiations work. Everybody comes out of it very unhappy. But. Guys, I mean, this is not even a negotiation, it seems. It seems like this is a total selling out of every soldier, of every, alive or dead, and every family, left wing or right wing, doesn't matter. It's a selling out of the whole country, guys. Again, it doesn't matter if it's a ploy. It doesn't matter if it's some kind of sleight of hand. It doesn't matter if it's a shtick or 5D chess. It sends a signal that, you know, we need to do this kind of stuff as opposed to do things in a straightforward way. And our enemies are like, oh, okay, this is how you are. You play games of deception. You don't you know, you're not direct. Okay, folks, I don't know if you notice, our enemies are very direct. They're very direct about what they want and how they're going about things. They've stopped, you know, quote unquote, deceiving us for a long time. So, yeah, guys, I don't know what else to say. It's you know, we're in the 10 days of Tshuva. The best advice I can give anybody at this point is to maybe just daven to Hashem, do Tshuva. I think that's what Hashem wants from us, really. The ones who I described in the beginning of this video, the ones who are in fact connected to Hashem, the ones who are, you know, for whom it's not merely performative or external, or, you know, or stuff they show on social media to show people, oh, look how cool I am. Yeah. For those people, for those of you listening who see what's going on, who have any ounce of emunah, integrity, you know, clear-headedness, moral compass, it's just a sign for us to double down on the spiritual aspect, because clearly we see, I think in Tehillim, I don't know which psalm it says, do not put your faith in kings and princes. Do not put your faith in them. Only in Hashem. That's the message, guys. Alright. I've said my piece on that one. Alright, talk to you soon.